Okay, so hello and welcome back to our final day, day 3 of our Thrive in 2023. I've been having a fabulous time reading your homework, reading all of your ideas. So thank you so much for sharing them. And what's really coming out is the kind of deep healing work that you want to do, the communities that you want to work with, the support in mental health, in stress, in chair yoga, in yoga nidra. There's such a wide range of ideas from everyone, and the ideas so deeply needed. You know, things that the world really does need. That's my cat, Lily. Sorry, excuse me one tick. Darling, can you let Lily in? Yes, things the world really does need. I don't know if anyone's done any training with Judith Hanson-Lassiter. She does the restorative yoga teacher training. I remember training with her years ago, and she used to give everybody a bumper sticker, because she's American. We don't say bumper sticker, do we? But bumper sticker that said on it, saving the world one shavasana at a time. And that really came back to my mind when I was seeing the courses and the ideas and this deep calling that each of you has to serve and make people's lives easier through yoga. And that work is needed. That work is needed. And that is what keeps us going when the self-doubt, the nerves, the overwhelm, the I can't do this, all of those little monsters from inside of us that come up and stop us doing what we're here to do. And it's really coming back to all of these teachings from the Bhagavad Gita of we have a purpose, we have a swadharma, and each of you has that. And only you can do the work that is your swadharma in your light, in your energy, and it is so needed. And I can imagine each one of you can reflect on someone that made a positive difference in your life through sharing yoga. And when we let our nerves, our self-doubt get in the way, you're not allowing someone else to have that experience you had. You know, there's that unlit tea light that we go, oh, this is making me feel really nervous. I'm not sure if I can do this. I'm going to light a tea light. Okay. And we just keep going. And confidence only ever comes from the doing, doesn't it? You know, from the students coming back and saying, that made a difference. I slept really well last night. That's the kind of things that bring confidence. So if you don't feel confident about your new offerings at this stage, that's okay. Just remember, we've got some tea lights to write. We do it not feeling very confident, and then we become more confident in the practice, in the doing, in really receiving the feedback from your students. So thank you for sharing your ideas. They have been just fabulous. Any questions and bits that come up today, obviously, of course, just put them in the chat, and I am going to press our screen share. So this is what we are up to today on day 3. We are going to be looking at, let me click a few over. We're going to be looking today at strategy, marketing, and promotion. This is where I'd say the most kind of classic business training is going to come from me. We're going to be considering where do you need help and what don't you know yet? Because that's some of the stuff that's easy to stop us getting on. I don't know how to do X. I don't know how to set up a website. I don't know how to set up a booking payment system. I don't know how to get my Google business listing. All of the things we don't know yet. Helping us identify those, we can then go about going, right, everything's Googleable. How am I going to learn how to do this? So identifying what you don't know yet that could be a barrier to bringing your offering to life. Then predominant work today, how will you attract new students to these new classes, courses, offerings, retreats? I'm going to be talking about marketing, promotion, and sales, and getting really clear on what the difference is and getting really okay with doing them. You know, we can have this sort of icky feeling around marketing, promotion, and sales. I'm going to pull that icky feeling away today and let you fall in love with the idea of marketing, promotion, and sales, because all it is helping you light tea lights. Looking at how you create a promotion plan, And then I wanted to share a little invitation of how you can work with me over 6 weeks. This is a brand new program, and this program is only going to run once because it is a response to the current cost of living crisis. So I'll tell you a little bit about that because it's the only time I'm going to run it as a 6-week program. So that's what we're going to do today. But just going back to our refresher, because it doesn't matter how many times I say this, we always need a reminder. You are first and foremost a community builder. You are building your community, you are building your business with real conversations, with real people, creating real relationships and delivering real results. And you know, that might build a good community and that might build a good business, but it's going to build joy into your life as well. You know, real relationships that take time to cultivate. As I was signing off from our session yesterday, I told you I had some yoga friends coming over for dinner, all other teachers. You know, we just sat around a fire outside under the stars, having real conversations with real relationships that we've spent time nurturing. And how do you nurture relationships? Through conversation. So really keep that first and foremost of your mind. How many people am I going to chat to this week? Okay. So we've been speaking about our little tea light. We have been dreaming. Lots of people have lots of dreams, lots of ideas. And from working with yoga teachers, we are a really creative bunch. I think more so than a lot of people. My husband is an engineering director, and he's often, well, he's actually doing a training right now on innovation. He's always having to teach innovation. And I said, you know what? You don't have to teach innovation to yoga teachers. We are full of ideas and dreams. There's something that gets ignited in that. And I think it's our passion. But often these dreams and ideas don't leave the paper. They don't come into being. And sometimes that's because we just don't know how to break a dream down into little steps. What is the next little step that I have to take? Maybe it's creating a name for my course. Maybe it's then writing a little bit of paragraph text about what's included in my course. Okay, then what's the next step? All right, I need to create an image to go with that. Okay, then what's the next step? I need to share this paragraph of text with people. I'm going to do that on social media. I'm going to do that on a flyer. I'm going to do that on a poster. Okay, then what's the next step? All right, people start paying and booking for it. Then what's the next step? I plan the content. Then what's the next step? I turn up and teach it. And we just break it down into steps. But what a lot of yoga teachers' minds do is we go from step 1, oh, I've got this really good idea for this nice new yoga course. It's really going to make a difference in the world. And then our mind jumps 25 steps to, but what if nobody comes? Okay, I'm not going to do it. And we just jump to that end. But we know yoga teaches non-attachment to the outcome. It's right there in the Bhagavad Gita. Do your works. It's the right thing to do. Surrender attachment to the outcome. And when there is that fear of holding you back, what if nobody books, or whatever you think the worst outcome is, just ask yourself, can I handle that? So what if nobody books? Okay, maybe it just wasn't the right time. I need to spend a little bit more time promoting it. I'll maybe try it again in September. I cancel my whole hire. You know, what is the worst thing, and could you live with it? And you could probably live with that better than never trying in the first place. Spoken through that one. Let's click over. Okay, so what do you need to learn? What do you not know yet? And some of you will know the author, Maria Forleo. I really struggle to say the sentence of hers. Everything is figure outable. And it is. You know, every yoga teacher has had to work out, okay, how do I get a website? How do I do my Google listing? How do I connect with Stripe? We've all had to work it out. Right? Everything is figure outable. There is nothing another yoga teacher does that you can't do. Okay? There's easy ways to ask for help, but everything is figure outable. You are meant to learn new stuff. You know, you are meant to grow. So what do you need to learn to get help with to grow your new offering? So that is one thing I want you to reflect on. What are the things I don't know how to do? And how am I going to figure it out? And then we are going to go into our marketing, sales, promotion training. So what is marketing? Marketing is simply building relationships. So if the word marketing makes you feel icky, just change it to relationship building. Relationship building. Now, many of you will have heard this analogy from me before because I always use the same analogy. There are 4 stages to building a relationship that is going to take someone from complete stranger to loyal student with you. The first thing you have to do to attract new students is communicate with new people. I know that sounds really silly, but it's very easy for us to get in echo chambers. So if, for instance, you think, let's take first of all Instagram. If you are on Instagram, have a look at who your followers are. And you'll probably find it's a lot of other yoga teachers and your friends. People that either already know you, they're your buddies, they don't want to do yoga with you, or maybe they're already doing yoga, or they're other yoga teachers that are trying to support you. But there's nobody new to you there. It's a little echo chamber. And then you see on Facebook, a lot of people will share about their yoga classes in local yoga groups. Like I'll get lots of people try and advertise classes in the Yoga Teacher Collaborative. And I say, you're advertising to yoga teachers. You're trying to attract new students in your local community. They're not hanging out in the Yoga Teacher Collaborative. Get out of being in these echo chambers. You have to go out and talk to new people. So how do we do that? First of all, you think, where are these new people hanging out? And this can be in person or online. And the analogy I always use is, I've been with my husband for 21 years. Imagine I was done with him and I wanted a new man in my life. If there was already a man in my circles that I felt was a compatible match with, I would already know that. There is no other man in my circles that I would want to date or replace my husband with. Okay? So I would have to go to new circles. Just like you, there's probably a whole load of people in your life that know you're a yoga teacher. They'd already be going to yoga with you if they were your friends, your family, your buddies, and they wanted to go to class with you. You've got to go and find new people. So if I know there's nobody in my circles that I want to replace my husband with, I'm going to go and find new people. So it'd be really helpful if I knew who I was looking for or what kind of person I was looking for. So you've been reflecting on who is your ideal student? Who do you like to spend time with? Who would you like to have in your class? So then you think, where do those people hang out? Let's take, for instance, a chair yoga community. Are people that might fill your chair classes, are they hanging out on Instagram? Hell no. So there's no point you being on Instagram. So let's come back to my husband. My husband doesn't dance. Say I would love a new man that could do the tango with me. I want a man that can dance and move their body. So where am I going to go and find that man? I'm not going to go and find him in the local bingo hall. I'm going to maybe have to take myself to a beginner's tango class. I have to go to new places. So for you, what do new places look like? Could it be that your chair yogis are hanging out in the library, or they're hanging out in the local Friday club in the community hall, or they're at the doctor's sometimes, or they're seeing the local chiropodist? Or if you are interested in teaching yoga for people who are really sporty and active, are they hanging out at the park run every Saturday? Are they going to their local running shop? Are they belonging to running clubs? Are they on Facebook running groups? If you are wanting to share yoga with new mums, where are those new mums? Are they in Mumsnet? Are they in mums Facebook groups? Are they, this is their second baby, are they at the school gates? Are they, where are they? What are they reading? And where are those people? Think online and in person. With Instagram, people can be found through hashtags. So maybe you're doing chair yoga for people that suffered with strokes. You'll find stroke stroke recovery, life after stroke, hashtags on Instagram. So you've got to know where those people you're looking for are. So I've decided I need a new husband. There's no new husband in my local community. I've got to go somewhere else to meet my new husband. I know I want a man that can dance, so I'm going to go to tango. Now, is it just enough for me to join the tango class, okay, and then not do anything? Is it just enough for you to join the Facebook group for the local mums? Is it just enough for you to lurk outside the school gates? No, you have to start talking to people. So I've got to go into tango feeling probably as nervous as hell and as self-conscious as hell. And I've got to find somebody who looks like I feel safe approaching them and say, hi, my name's Laura. I've never come to tango before. Are you new here? You've got to start having the conversations. So what can that look like in a Facebook group? Consider your local community Facebook groups, not the big yoga groups. Your buying and selling in Eastleigh, mums of Southampton, neighbours of Chandler's Ford, what's on in Kidderminster. Okay? You've got to find those groups. And you go into them, and it's just the same as rocking up to tango. You say, hi, my name's Laura. I'd love to introduce myself. I live locally. I've got 500 cats and I really like yoga. Okay? You actually have to introduce yourself in these groups as a real human being. Same if you're going to set up a stall at a village fair, or you are chatting to people at the end of park run. You have to just start talking to people, communicate. And I don't like small talk. I find it really awkward. And I'm not asking you to make small talk. I'm asking you to ask questions. And if you feel awkward chatting to people and asking questions, I'd like you to write down the acronym TED, T-E-D. Tell me, explain, describe. So it's helping you to ask open questions. So maybe you are at a village fete. Village fetes are great for attracting new students to community yoga classes. Someone comes up to your stall and says, oh, you do yoga. I'm not really into yoga. I'm not really fit enough. And you just say, oh, don't worry about it. Tell me a little bit about you. What do you like to do? Rather than what you would have naturally done is, oh no, it doesn't matter if you're not very fit for yoga. You don't have to, you'd have immediately gone into selling, trying to sell the benefits of yoga, skipping the stage of communicating and cultivating. Oh, don't worry about that. Tell me a little bit more about you. What do you like to do? Tell me more about you. Explain, describe. Small talk is tricky when you feel the pressure to speak. Just ask questions. Ask questions, tell me more about that, explain, describe. Okay. And you are cultivating these relationships, and the relationships take time. So this person that's come over to your village fete and said, oh, you do yoga, I'm really not into that, I'm not very bendy. And you say, oh, don't worry about that. You don't have to be flexible to do yoga, but tell me a little bit more about you. What do you like to do? And if they say, oh, do you know what? I really like horse riding, or I've got a horse, or I like being in nature, I like gardening. You start talking about that and you start talking with them. And then there'll be a point where you can make an invitation. Do you know what? I found sometimes my back can really ache after I've done a lot of gardening. And that's how I've actually got into yoga. It really helped me with that. So you make an invitation, you make a connection, a link to yoga, at which point you invite someone to come to class. So let's go back to my tango. I've been chatting with a few different people at tango, and there's someone I feel a real connection with. And I'm thinking, oh, you could be my potential husband. You have got to make the invitation. It's been so nice getting to know you at tango. Is there any chance you'd like to go for a coffee sometime? You have got to make the invitation. Everybody wants to feel invited. So that's, thank you so much for sharing about me. It's been lovely getting to know you. I teach a yoga class at 7 o'clock on a Monday. I'd really love you to come. Why don't you have a free class on me? And make it very personal. So often we'll say things like, oh, I offer a free class. And that doesn't sound very personal. Whereas you say, I've so enjoyed getting to know with you. Why don't you come for a class on me? Just see how you get on. Okay. And you have to make the invitation. And then when someone takes you up on that and on the invitation, it's very easy to want to give your information to someone. I'll just Google it on my website, or here's my business card, or you'll find me on Instagram. Just look me up at Laura Green Yoga. It's very easy to give the information to the other person, whereas then you can't follow up. So it's much easier for you to take someone's information. Oh, I would love you to come and have a class from me. Why don't I take your email address and I can send you details about the class, where it is, when it is. Or, if you have been bonding over something specific, you could say, oh, I've got an article on that. I can send you some information. So you ideally share your information, yes, but if you can, take the contact details of the person, and then you can invite them. And that's the same in social media. So somebody has been publicly commenting, liking, or engaging in your posts, or you've just seen you've got a new follower on Instagram or a new follower on Facebook, message them. Thank you so much for following my page. It's really nice to connect with you. Have you ever done any yoga before? Because they're not followers, they're potential relationships with real people. And then when someone replies, oh, that's really nice. Yes, I have done yoga, or I was thinking of giving it a try. Why don't you come and have a free class? I would love to meet you. So it's just the same on social media. Connect with people who like your page, comment on your stuff, press the little heart, but then take that conversation into direct messaging, Messenger. Thank you so much for following me. Thank you so much for engaging on my post. Your support really means the world to me. Tell me a little bit more about you. Then you delight them. So then they come to that class and you remember them if possible. Oh, it was so nice to meet you the other day at that village fair. Thank you for coming to class today. You teach them a damn good class, and then you send them a follow-up thank you message afterwards. So that is the 4 steps of relationship building. You got to go to new places where new people hang out, start talking to them, ask open questions, invite them, and then teach them a wonderful yoga class. So a little bit more detail on this. I do have a long blog on it as well that I can send you, but 4 stages from taking someone from stranger to student. So you have rocked up at Tango, you've rocked up at Park Run, you've rocked up in a new Facebook group, you've gone onto the Nextdoor app, you're connecting with somebody on Instagram. Wherever you are, you start as a stranger, either a stranger on the internet or a stranger in the room. And it is embedded in us to have stranger danger. So how do you take someone from stranger to relationship? They need to feel like they know you, like you, trust you, and that welcome at class. Know, like, and trust is the oldest marketing basic you have to understand. It's a cliche and it is exceptionally true. If you don't know me, we do not have a relationship. So what does it need for someone to know you? They have to know your name. If you don't know my name, you don't know me, and I don't know you. If you use a brand name for your business, I think that's a relationship downer from the beginning. I understand why people use brand names such as Yoga and Flow or Gecko Yoga. I'm just making some up off the top of my head. I know why people use those brand names. Sometimes it's because your name isn't easy to spell. Your name's already been taken on the internet, on the website. You don't like your name. You want it to sound more larger than your name. I understand that. And you might have a good reason for using a brand name rather than your name. I'm Laura Green Yoga. But if you're choosing to use a brand name, you then must make sure your name is everywhere else. So if your brand name is Gecko Yoga, it would then say, hi, my name's Laura. Welcome to Gecko Yoga. If it's on your social media, I really notice it when I'm welcoming new people into the Yoga Teacher Collaborative Facebook group. How many of you, I don't know your name because you're using a brand name. I don't want to write you a message going, hi, Yoga Flow, because I know that's not your name. It feels rude. So I then go on your social media page and I can't find your name there anywhere. And then I go on your website and I still can't find your name. Your name, if someone don't know your name, they're not making a relationship with you. Then your face. If they don't know what you look like, they don't know you. And we worry about sharing our face on social media, I know. But you do not have to look a certain way. You do not actually even have to like your own photo or feel comfortable in it to share it. It is still important. And you think you don't judge other people by how they look, and they're not judging you by it. And the visual representation of yoga online is so narrow that we have a duty as yoga teachers to put pictures of ourselves up so that more people can look at that and go, I look like that person. I think I feel safe there. I'm feeling a connection. I'm going to go to their yoga class. Yoga is not just for people in hot pants and boob tubes. Okay? We have to share real life yoga with real people, and that means your real face. Smile and eyes. So you see that little picture of me, I'm smiling and there's my eyes. Then we make a connection. If you can persuade yourself to do video, I know it's asking a lot, but videos are great because then people get a real feel of you talking in real life. So to know you, they have to know your name, your face, maybe see you on a video, maybe not, but what you do, where you do it, and who it's for. My name's Laura Green. I'm a yoga teacher in Southampton, Hampshire. Okay? Just like that, you've got to know who you are, what you do, where you do it. Then they want to like you, you know? If someone's going to come to your yoga class, having seen your flyer or met you at a fair or connected with you on social media, they want to feel a connection with you, that they like you. So how does someone feel like they like you? And this can push a lot of buttons for us, you know, because we've been taught that we're not enough, we're too much, we're this, that, and the other. We just need to be ourselves. But to gain that like, first of all, we want to be professional. Okay, real, relatable, human, share aspects of our personal life, our hobbies, our hopes, with boundaries. Right? So you don't have to share every part of your personal life with your students, every part of your personal life on social media, on your website. But it'd be really nice if there was, say, 3 or 5 things about you that you're happy to share. So most people know I'm a musician, most people know I'm crazy about cats, and most people know that I'm a yoga teacher. Then there's a whole load of other things that people don't know about me that sit in my private life that aren't on social media, but it gives me ways that I can honestly share real, relatable passions of my life while respecting boundaries. So think about what are the kind of 3 to 5 things that if I was to ask a good friend of yours, a colleague, they'd go, oh my God, she's always baking. She bakes the best cakes. She loves being outdoors and she's really into yoga. And just share those things. 3 to 5, depending on what you're comfortable with. Like Amber, I saw Amber's on here. Amber, I know she's a kick-ass copywriter. She has an amazing German Shepherd dog and she does aerial yoga. And it should be that easy for people to know you. Then third way to take people from stranger to dangerous, they've got to know you, feel they know a bit about you. They're making a bond with you. Then trust. From stranger to student, they have to trust you. So what is the easiest way to build trust? To genuinely want to help someone. And that's why we do what we do as yoga teachers. If you didn't genuinely want to help, you wouldn't be here. So genuinely wanting to help, generally present with kindness, intention when someone is telling you about what's going on in their life, really being there to help, to hold space, to listen. And then the last step from stranger on the internet to regular student in your class is your students want to feel welcome. You know, and this is where the invitation comes from. They want to feel welcome. So lovely to connect with you. I would really love you to come to class with me. I think you'd really like it. Rather than just presuming, you know I'm a yoga teacher, so if you want to come, you'll just ask. Invite, make someone feel welcome. It is a core human need to be seen, understood, and accepted. And better yet, when those people come to your class, Hi, Fred. I'm so pleased you're here. Come on in. This is Belinda on the mat next to you. My name's Laura. I'm so delighted to see you. Really make people feel welcome, especially if you're teaching online. This really kind of broke my heart a little bit in COVID. How I'd go to an online class, the teacher I didn't know, there was no connection, no hello, no thank you. It could have just been a DVD. Okay? Make real connections with those students. Hey, so what is marketing? Marketing is all of that. It's all of the relationship building. Sales is making the invitation. Now you've got to know, like, and trust me. Here is the invitation. What a lot of yoga teachers do is they skip the marketing bit and they go straight to the sales bit accidentally. So we've got a new 6-week prenatal yoga class starting. All right, I better go and join the Facebook mums groups. And then we don't say anything in there. And then we just drop in a flyer that says, book my 6-week prenatal yoga class. They don't know you, you're still a stranger on the internet, and you just ask for the sales. It is a slightly rude reference, but I always say that's like a booty call. That's like asking for the deed without having built the relationship. And I know we do it because we don't feel comfortable. We don't want to be on social media. We just rock up when we've got something to sell. Okay. You've got to be building relationships first. Okay. So as a recap, marketing actually is real conversations. You're probably bored of me saying that. With real people, building real relationships, understanding someone's real challenge, offering real solutions in real classes, building real communities, creates a real business in real time. And no, it has nothing to do with social media reels. So what is sales? Sales is then understanding someone's needs, and you only understand the needs when you spent time getting to know them. Offering real support. Thank you so much for sharing with me about your sleeping troubles. I appreciate it's really easy to struggle with sleep when life is so busy at the moment. So understanding someone's real need. I honestly think that the Yoga Nidra course I'm running will help you. Yoga Nidra has a proven track record in regulating people's stress levels, helping with insomnia, and improving sleep. And it's also really powerful rest. So if you're not sleeping, we can still get some of that healing rest during the Yoga Nidra sessions. Okay? That is sales. I understood your needs. I'm offering real support. If you think this would be good for you, my 6-week Yoga Nidra course is just about to start. I'm picking this because I know some of you want to do a Yoga Nidra course, is about to start. I'm going to send you a little recording of a Yoga Nidra I've done before. Have a go at that, see how it feels, can follow up, and then come and do my course. Okay. Then make it easy to accept the invitation. So you send them that little email with an example of a Yoga Nidra, then follow up. Hi, Fred. Did you have a go at that Yoga Nidra? Would you like to book my course? Here's the link to book. Make it really easy for people to do the booking, because often we have the best of intentions. You know that Yoga Nidra course is going to make a difference for you, but then you got distracted. You went and did the washing up, and then it's tomorrow, and then the kids need something, and then you've got to take the dog to the vet, and oh no, you never signed up for that Yoga Nidra course. Okay? It doesn't mean you didn't want to do it. It meant life got in the way. So make it easy for someone to accept the invitation to work with you. Give them space to ask more questions and follow up on the invitation. When you invite someone to do something and they don't say yes, you presume it's because they didn't like you, don't want it, it's not the right thing, it's too expensive. All of these things go on. Whereas a lot of the time they've just forgotten. They've forgotten, they didn't know where their credit card was at the time, they wanted to do that. And when you follow up with people, oh, thank you so much for reminding me, I really do want to do that Yoga Nidra course with you, I'll go and register now. Okay? And then obviously, of course, delivering on our promises, delivering on whatever course it was you said you were going to do. So then in your workbook, you have a little kind of step-by-step, what action are you going to take next? So that could be, I'm going to join all of the Facebook groups in my local town, and I'm going to introduce myself. I'm not going to sell, I'm going to introduce myself. I'm going to start making relationships, or I'm going to research all of the local mind, body, spirit fairs in my town and make sure I go to a mind, body, spirit fair once a quarter. I'm going to refresh all of my posters and flyers and make sure I'm changing those quarterly. So what are the next action steps for you? And then you have this written down. There's just a little step-by-step of if you want to sell something. So if you want to sell a 6-week yoga course, a beginner's yoga course, a retreat, a workshop, first of all, you need to create an invitation page, a booking page. So that can simply be a page on your website that says 6-week beginner's course includes the following, starts on this day at this venue, book here. Websites, I really recommend everybody has a website. It works well with Google. Think, when was the last time you wanted to do something and you Googled jiu-jitsu in Southampton? And we Google, don't we? And so you've got to have a website. You've got to come up on Google. Okay. If you are not in the position to create that on a website yet, it could be a Google document, a PDF, a Word document, but you need to have a piece of information that shares what it is, who it's for, what's included, how much it is, all the things we were working through yesterday. So you create your invitation and booking page. Ideally, I'd like you to have booking systems so that people, as soon as they have that idea, can book and pay. Then you need to create the images and the text to go with it. If you can say something in an image, it's really powerful and people don't have to read so much. Ideally, images want to have pictures of you. That image on the screen, forgot that's there. I was doing a yoga day retreat at a local vineyard. So we went and did a little photo shoot there. You can take it with the tripod, you can take them yourself. You need images, and then you need to write a little bit of text explaining what you're offering, who it's for, how it's going to help them with their symptom problem solution. Announce the thing, whether it's announcing brand new 6-week beginners course by putting posters up, flyers up, if it's announcing it in all of the local community Facebook groups, if it's announcing it on email, if it's announcing it in person at classes, at Mind Body Spirit fairs, you have to say, I have a new 6-week beginners course. And then CTA is call to action. Click here to book it. Ring me to talk. If it's chair yoga, sometimes I might want to talk to you. Ring me to talk through the class options. Yeah. But it's literally telling someone what is the next step they need to do to attend your event. Send personal invitations, use your network. So this is better for teachers who've been around for a while. If you already have some clients, send them personal invitations. I've got a retreat to Rishikesh in India next year. We're taking about 24 people. It sold out in 2 hours and 45 minutes by personal emails. It never got publicly marketed anywhere. Just a handful of emails to people going, I think you're going to love this. Okay. So send personal invitations, use your network, connect with the local physios, running coaches, personal trainers, Reiki practitioners, use your networks, tell them. Then once you've announced the thing, often you have to do educational content. So I think I read 2 homework pieces about people wanting to do yoga nidra courses. You will have to do educational content because people don't know what yoga nidra is or why it should be a weekly need to them. So you have to educate. Those of you doing menopause yoga, educational content around, yes, recognizing the symptoms of menopause, and then also educational content about how the hell can breath work help? You know, but if somebody's never spent 2 seconds in any day mindfully breathing, they're never going to connect the benefits of mindful breathing and menopause symptoms. So educational content plus a call to action. If this resonated with you today, I'd love you to click this link here and read more about my menopause course. Live videos. Not everybody likes to read information. Now, you will have an opinion as to whether you feel comfortable on camera or not. But remember, it's not actually about you. It's about that potential tea light. So you might have a potential tea light that once they've seen all of your written information on menopause yoga, maybe they have, maybe they're busy or maybe they're dyslexic, and they look at this information, they're like, I can't read that. I just won't read that. Whereas if they saw a video, they might watch it. So I recommend mixing styles, having some video content, some written information, and some images, so that your potential students can engage in your content in the way that matches their needs the most. With love, it's not about you. It's about how they're engaging with your content. Ask people to invite a friend. Okay. Coming along to a 6-week yoga course, why don't you come with a friend? I did the same with you with this course. I sent you an email saying you might find it easier to commit if you had a study buddy. So ask people to invite a friend, and if needed, give them incentive. Bring a friend and you both get it for £10 less. Then 2 to 3 emails, social media posts, 2 to 3 different flyer campaigns about the same course. So it's not just enough to say once, I'm running a menopause yoga workshop, because someone might not have seen your email, it might be in their junk, they might not have seen your social media, they might not have seen your flyer. You need to tell people the same thing about 2 to 3 times minimum. Always send the last chance to book. If you've got one more space on something 24 hours before, last chance to book. Okay. And old school works. I get so many responses back about posters, flyers, and A-boards and how they work. If your posters and flyers haven't worked, it's probably the fault of the poster design or the flyer when you flyer dropped. So I tell everybody to flyer drop on a Sunday, because nothing else lands on the doorstep on a Sunday. Did I say Friday? Sunday. So if you think throughout a day, you get loads of junk mail, posts, all sorts that comes through your letterbox. And if you see it's flyers and junk mail, you pick the whole lot up and you take it to the bin. If there's one solitary flyer sitting on your doorstep on a Sunday, even if you're picking it up and planning to take it to the bin, you still absorb the content in your mind as it goes to the bin. You're like, oh yeah, there was a flyer about X. Between Christmas and New Year is a great time for flyer dropping, because not much comes through the door. But yeah, flyer drops do work. If they don't, it's when you dropped it. Worst case, if you used a distribution company, they never work, and the design. And A-boards is just very simply a blackboard, whiteboard that you put outside of your yoga class, you put outside of the hall when you're in there teaching. Obviously, you have to get permission, especially if it's council or it's on a high street. You need to make sure you've got permission. But A-boards work really well, especially for someone with footfall. And then ask people for reviews as well. So that was quite quick through. You can come back to all of this anytime. And the next step is to ask yourself, am I ready to bring this to life? Do you believe in yoga? If you're struggling with your confidence, you don't have to believe in yourself. It would be nice to, and you will believe in yourself later, but just believe in yoga. Do you believe yoga works? Yes. Well, trust in yoga, go out and share it. If you have got more than enough from this to get running, absolutely go ahead, keep sharing. I cannot wait to see the feedback, to see how you get on, to see the results and celebrate your successes. But if you would like a helping hand, you want to do it together, I do have a brand new course. So some of you know I do a 12-week mentorship program, but I'm launching something different now, and it's the only time it's going to run. So it's a 6-week business mentorship course for yoga teachers called Fast Track to Full. That I normally always do my 12-week program, but I was looking at where we are right now. And I know we're in a cost of living crisis. I know people need help, and I know you need it quickly and you need it affordably. So my 12-week mentorship program is normally much more of an investment, and it's a lot longer period of time. The 6-week Fast Track to Full is going to be focused on simple steps from, well, I'll show you the steps I've got coming up in a sec. Simple steps take you from where you are to full. It's going to run live, and I think this will probably be the only time, definitely the only time live. So the intention is to help you find your mojo and fill your classes, courses, whatever it is. So if you want full classes, committed students, and you need to make money fast, this is the course for you. You need to get full fast. This is the course for you. So we'll work on attracting students, keep them coming back, and of course, dealing with confidence, imposter syndrome all along the way. If you want to thrive without overwhelm and fear, it'll help, and definitely isolation. You know, we simply do this together. So it's good support, it's live, you have lifetime access and lots of accountability with it. I've broken my normal 12-week down into key steps. So week 1, this is quite a mouthful, is who, where, when, who, why, how. So we make sure that is super clear. Who are you? What do you do? Where do you do it? Who's it for? Why should they do it? And how to book. We then make sure that information is super clear on your website, your social media, your flyers, your posters. We get that really nailed down. Then week 2, we will sort out your website, booking platforms, and how you get different payment models, and we'll work through payment models. Week 3 is all how to do online marketing and social media. This all includes templates so you can get started straight away. Week 4 is in-person community marketing. So we go through more posters, flyers, networking, all of that. Week 5 is probably my favorite week and the thing I see most skipped, which is customer service. So we get you a step-by-step standard operating procedure for excellent customer service, so your students keep coming back, leave you really good Google reviews, and invite new people. You know, I've been teaching for 13 years and had many students that have been with me that whole time, and it's predominantly customer service. In week 6, we will go over getting your email list started, creating lead magnets. These are how you grow your email list, and email marketing. It's always changing, email marketing. So we'll go through the latest on that. I said the 6 weeks is a completely new, much more affordable, streamlined version just for now. So all of these people have done my 12-week course. So this was Tim. Tim said, I got the results to prove how successful you can be if you follow Laura's process. It's simple but hard work. The number of people I'm teaching is up 40% in 2 months. 40% in 2 months. I just smashed my best ever month for turnover. Brilliant course, really pleased he signed up. This is Jackie. Jackie runs a studio, yoga studio. Program has delivered more than I ever imagined, covering all aspects of marketing, photography, sequencing, creativity, mindset. With Laura's training, I've maintained my online presence, built a new studio with sold out classes, plus sold out day retreats. And now she has a first retreat in Spain. I know that actually is sold out now as well. It's next year. And this is Beth. I completed a 12-week mentorship with Laura earlier this year. She was a brand new teacher, wanted to learn how to develop her business and reduce her hours. She went from being full-time employed to working 3 days a week during the course. And actually, since writing this, she's now been able to take everything online and has upped and moved to the Alps. So she's given up work completely and now teaches her community, which she grew with me. She now teaches them online from the Alps. Okay. This is more of a financially focused one. So I've left the name of this person for privacy, but they sent me a screenshot of their Wix payment. So she said, my best month yet. Can't thank you enough for your mentorship program. She had a payout of £973. And that was, I think, a month into our training. And Lucy. Laura is a fountain of knowledge, and her enthusiasm is infectious. Results since the beginning of the course speak for themselves. Increased social media activity, new website, more students, great feedback. So this will start on the 28th of January, but you have lifetime access. I will be delivering this live. and that won't happen again. Often my trainings are pre-recorded and then we have live coaching. This will all be delivered live, so you can have lots of questions, but then it's all recorded and you have lifetime access as well to that. My mentorships normally start at a minimum of £800. This one is £475 because money's tight. You know, money's tight, things are tough right now and everyone needs a little bit of help. That's why it's a one-time only, or you can pay by installments. And then remember, you can still win a spot. You can still win a spot absolutely for free. You just need to finish off your homework by the end of this month. So it's tomorrow, I think, and there's other prizes as well. So that was a vast amount of information. Let me dive on into your chat and see if you've got any questions. Two new dance aerobics classes planned for next week. Quite a bit of interest, but as yet only a few signed up. Yes, getting sign-ups for things that start in January, they come in so late. So if you're starting anything in January, just hold your nerve, because people never want to pay for something before Christmas, and then they need to wait for payday and then to get into January. So people sign up for January courses way later than normal. So Tina, just hold your nerve, honey. Keep telling them. Scarlett, I still feel unsure who my classes are for. They haven't started teaching yet. I was thinking nice people. Scarlett, that is 100% okay, my love. And you will start to find out who you like teaching from teaching. So when you're new, just say yes to everything, and then you'll start to work it out and just keep coming back to this work. It's totally fine. What does the T stand for in TED? Tell me. Tell me, explain, describe. I've got back pain. Tell me more about that. I've got back pain. Explain to me how that affects your day-to-day life. I've got back pain. Describe to me what you feel. Claire, I've had lots of interest from local Facebook groups and more from posting a photo and a chat than advertising. I give a small amount of information about my own sessions, encourage people to message me, and then start a conversation. Great, Claire. Perfect, darling. Absolutely perfect. People are always opposed to being sold to, you know. Tinder, I've noticed recently likes on my Facebook page, but they're not local. Then what is suggested? Still build the relationship. So still saying, thank you so much for liking my page. I've noticed I'm based in Southampton. I've noticed you're in Newcastle. How did you find my page? Just open up the conversation. It might be that they've got family down by you, or they used to live there, or they went to uni there. Just still start the conversation. You never know what comes from one thing to the next. Tina, my name is kind of embedded in my business. Name Sportina, my name is Tina. Is that okay? If I read the name Sportina, I wouldn't identify that your name was Tina. So it is okay, but you need to just say, Sportina, hi, I'm Tina. just keep doing that. Sam, the videos posted on my Facebook page always do well, no matter how much I dislike them. Sam, well done for doing them. My biggest advice is just never watch them back. I never watch a single video back. Just send it out into the ether. Karen. Yes, Karen, totally makes sense for your face name included on brand info. Yeah, it happens all the time. Just double check everything. When a new person comes to class, I sat down, I introduce them to the group and give them names. Exactly, introducing students to other people in the group is such a nice way to build that sense of community, even if it's just the person either side of them. Alex, so first we drop in some valuable content conversations in these groups before advertising our offerings. Yes, Sam, be present in the groups before you advertise things. Comment back on people's posts, and you can share other things like, you know, my husband and I like to walk a lot locally. So it's really legitimate for me to go into a local group and go, can anyone recommend a nice walk around here? I'm looking for a new walk. You know, start building those relationships that way, being real with them. Does anyone know a perfect pub for a roast dinner? So people start knowing you, comment back on other people's posts, even if it's other businesses as well. You know, if there's a business advertising windscreen, what are those? Window washing business. You know, even just reply, thanks for sharing this. And then other people will start to reply to your posts too. And no more booty calls. When you're finished, could you forward a link from today's workbook? Sure can. Someone's put it in there, Sam's put it in. I have a booking page and one, maybe two people use it. Most just come to cash. Does anyone use a tap and go payment? Tap and go, you mean like a card payment in class? Sounds a great idea. If it works for you, absolutely go for it. You probably need good Wi-Fi or something with it. I've never tried it because obviously you have to pay for it. Before COVID, I was all drop in, pay cash. And then they could have 5 class passes and I'd tick it off. I never knew who was coming to class. And it just seemed normal. And I liked people having the flexibility. But now I have you can pre-book on the website. So you can book for one session, but you have to book. Or you're on a monthly subscription, and it works so much better. And going to that class, knowing there's 10 people, there's 12 people, there's 15 people. So I would urge people to move away from the just rock up and pay. So good to know who's coming. But people can be resistant to it as well. Tina, mine either pay cash, backs, or standing order. For some people, I offer incentive for free class. Have a booking page, but same, lots of clients don't want to use it or can't. Not sure how to manage this as a studio. And Renton Carson insists. Find out why people aren't using it. Okay? Are they finding it clunky? Are they finding it hard to use, or are they just being lazy? If people are just being lazy, explain to them why it makes a difference. There isn't a more powerful word than because. Please, could you pre-book using my website, because it really helps me manage my small business and it helps me to plan my yoga classes better knowing who's coming. Please, could you leave me a review on Google, because it really helps other people to find my yoga classes. If you want someone to do something for you, use because. Please do this because. Okay. Please, could you empty the dishwasher, because then I'll love you more. Okay. You can use it in any aspect of your life. I did a leaflet drop once and a resident opened his door, proceeded to put it in the recycling bin right in front of me. Mortifying, Tina. Yes, those things all happen. And when we're thinking about flyer dropping, the worst is, what if they open the door or find me? You're like, what if they open the door and then we can have a chat and I can build a real relationship? And just know some people aren't nice, but for 80% of people are nice. Just move on. How long before a course should you start promo? 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks. Yeah, flyer dropping really works. I use my personal phone number. I can't handle having 2 phones, and sometimes we get prank calls. Sometimes I get WhatsApp calls with people with no clothes on. Just hang up, block and delete. Block and delete. Zoom classes, I think definitely there's a lot of people are over Zoom classes post lockdown, but some things are still working well on Zoom. So you've got to think about what's better for being on Zoom and communicate that. So I've got a new Zoom course coming up, so people still are doing it. Yeah, Alex said, love to invest in the course, but still scared to fail. Yeah, I understand that fear. Well, what if I do it all and it doesn't work? If you're prepared to do the steps, it will work. Okay? And if you're not prepared to do the steps, it'll be some self-worth, some self-confidence behind it, and we'll just work that through. Yeah, market 6 weeks before. When are the mentorship lives going to be? Saturdays when? If teaching, yes. On my website, it tells you when they all are. I have tried to mix it up. So some Saturdays, some Thursdays, some Fridays. I try to mix it up so that you have at least a chance of coming to some live, but everything's recorded and you get everything for longer. Sometimes recordings are better too, because you can press pause and start. Yeah, I'm going to send a SOP out tomorrow, or a calendar, and how you might schedule a week. Yeah, I will send something out. Do you recommend Facebook ads? I recommend trying anything and seeing if it works. If somebody tells you categorically something does or doesn't work, they don't know. People get different results on different things. So start a Facebook ad with a small amount of money. So 6-week yoga course, start a Facebook advert, 6-week yoga course, 10-mile radius of your local town, and don't put anything else in, and just put something like £25 on it. See if it's working. If it is working, double your £25 to £50. If it's not working, stop the advert. And that's the good thing about Facebook adverts, is it as soon as you stop it, it stops costing you money. And you can tell it a lifetime budget. So if you say lifetime of this advert, only spend £25, and after a week you decide the advert's not working, you stop it, it'll only charge you about £5 because it would have planned to spend that £25 over the whole period. Facebook adverts don't work like they used to work. I used to put a 20 quid advert and be able to fill every beginner's course, runner's course, but just try it. Get a good graphic and try it. Do you think advertising in local magazines is worth it? That is going to come right back to your ideal client. Who here picks up the local church magazine and puts it straight in the bin? Hands up. Okay. So if you were trying to target any of us, no, that local magazine is not going to work. Who does read the local church magazine cover to cover? Yeah. If you're trying to fill a chair yoga class, get it in that local magazine. Okay. If you're trying, think who reads it cover to cover, and is that who you're trying to talk to? I post info on my classes, online libraries. I post info on the focus of my classes. These are updated. I'm not sure I understand that question. Yeah. Okay. Got asked to teach a one-to-one class online, never done it before. Just beginning to, what should you charge for it? You can charge anything online, but you've still got a lot of prep. I wouldn't go lower than about £40. I charge £65 for a one-to-one, but yeah. Okay. For those working in other full-time jobs, how do you keep going? I feel like a fraud doing my day job whilst I'm really only thinking about yoga. Infuse your yoga into your day job. Inhale for the count of 4, exhale for the count of 10 points. Yeah, I know that feeling. Focus on one class at a time. Know you are serving your community by turning up and teaching one class, and infuse a bit of yoga into your workplace. Okay. Totally understand the concept of creating courses. Though when I've tried to offer it, the obstacle I come up with is, oh, I can't do that date, and then they don't sign up. Yeah, I mean, that's going to happen, but there's so many people. So some people won't be able to do a course because they can't do that date. And some people won't be able to go to a class because they can't do that date. And some people will be ready to make the commitment, and they will want that weekly progress. We just can't please everyone. Apart from earn money from yoga, lots of people earn a really healthy living from teaching yoga. We don't talk about it. Because it doesn't feel comfortable talking about earning money. teaching yoga, and so we never talk about it, but actually by earning enough money to teach yoga full time means we don't have another job. We have enough energy to help people through yoga. And I can't share details, but there's lots of people I mentorship, lots of my yoga friends, and I can quite happily tell you they're making very comfortable livings. Okay. Alrighty, so I'm going to leave that there for today. I'm going to send you the replays. You've still got a couple more days to do homework, and I am giving feedback on every piece of homework. So go in there. I'm trying to read the scrolls. So go in there, leave your feedback. And if any of you would like to do the 6-week course, I would be delighted to work with you and delighted to get going. But enjoy the rest of your day, and I will catch you soon, my lovelies. Bye for now.